Alright guys, Jake brought a performance here. I'm going to talk about something a little different today. You know, I heard a certain, and I'm not going to give names here because I'm not trying to make any kind of political message here, but my point here is today is to defend small businesses because I think they're kind of getting a bad rap lately. So I heard a certain political candidate the other day say, well, somebody asked this candidate, hey, what are you going to do about inflation? People can't afford food, this and that, housing. And they said, yeah, well, we're going to stop price gouging. Price gouging. Okay. So I guess this is to imply that inflation's not real. It's just businesses price gouging everybody. Yeah, that's a good one. You know, let's talk about that a little bit. You know, I have seen some comments and some people have said some things to me on the back end, or whether it's in my personal life or, again, comments on YouTube videos or whatever. It seems that a lot of you guys think that, well, we have to outsource things to China because you guys are just gaffing us. You're charging too much. Okay, fair enough. Let's discuss this. I'm not going to show any evidence today. Maybe that's something we could do at some point, but I don't have my books open in front of me to show you guys the numbers. But let's discuss this. And you know, and a presidential candidate saying this as well. And again, please, I am not making a political message here. I'm not telling anybody who to vote for. Whoever you want to vote for is fine. Make your own informed choice. I'm here strictly to defend small business or medium business, maybe even a few large businesses. Because, okay, let's talk about the cost of everything, and let's talk about a little bit, maybe you guys saw my other series about the thieves of the automotive industry, where one of our popular designs, well actually it's been two now, but in particular one of our popular designs got copied and made overseas and then brought back here. And man, I'll be honest, they were only about $15 cheaper than we were on a $650 part. So they didn't beat our price by much. And that's China with slave labor. So we're not price gouging. It's not us. And, you know, being a small business owner for 20 plus years at this point, I know a lot of other small business owners. And here's how we talk behind the scenes, because we're people too. We're not some, I don't know, we're not some higher beings than our customers or consumers are. We're just regular people, and if you're a small business, all you've done is you've created a job for yourself. I created a job for myself many years ago because I was laid off at my job, and essentially my career as a machinist got outsourced overseas. Because, hey, let's face it, if we can pay somebody whatever they make, you know, $1 an hour, I don't know what they make, so don't quote me on that, but they make a lot less than we do here in the United States. You can't manufacture things cheaper here. It's very difficult. You're lucky if you can be in the realm. And the only way you're going to be in the realm is you run your business on the thin red line of going out of business. You know, where you don't want to overcharge people and not get the work, but yet you have to charge enough to stay in business. So anyways, to get back on track here, other business owners like myself, we sit around and we have the same problem that you guys do. We go, man, what was your electric bill last month? Well, geez, 3 years ago it used to be around 200. Now I think it's 900, and these are not exaggerated changes. I'm telling you here, we're paying hundreds of dollars in just electric bills that it didn't used to cost us that much. So we're affected, and of course we buy things to make our products, or we buy things and resell. Most businesses do that. You have what they call cost of goods sold. So, whether you're, say, okay, in our example, say we're building a transmission for a customer. Well, everything we put into that transmission now costs more. So what has to happen? Well, we either have to make a decision and say, well, was there enough profit margin in there to cover these other expenses? Can we still keep going on and not raise the price? Or are we just at the point we got to raise the price, man? Well, a lot of times, you get to a point where, you can't do it for free. We might love our customers and love our job, but you still can't work for free because it costs money to be on this earth. You pay taxes and you eat and you need shelter, and God forbid you want to have a little fun in this earth. So, understand something, guys. If you think a small business is charging you too much, and I know you guys get this impression because for the simple fact that you say, okay, say for example, okay, Broader Performance is selling an XYZ and this is the price. Oh man, I found it on whatever, another auction, on an auction site or something else. I found it 15% cheaper. That guy's just ripping us off. He must be making a fortune over there. Well, no, probably not. You have to understand, it's not just us deciding, hey, here's what we can charge for this. I'll charge them more. I just keep charging them more. They're going to have to pay it. No, you don't have to pay it. You don't have to buy from this business or any other small business for that matter. There's very few situations where somebody has a monopoly on something where, okay, this is the only place to get this thing that I need. There's no other choice. And they could charge whatever they wanted and people are going to have to pay it. Sounds like you're talking about the government, doesn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, all kidding aside, but, there's a thing called competition. And especially with internet these days, it's very hard to be, 50% higher on some item than somebody else. People will pull out their smartphone in 2 seconds and, you'll be in a department store or looking at a tool or something and go, oh, wait, I can get this $20 cheaper if I just order it online. And it'll be here in a day or two, so let's leave the store. This is what happens. So we're all trying to do the best that we can. And when I say we, I mean us as business owners. We're really trying to do the best we can. That's God's honest truth. And I know prices have gone up. Our prices have gone up, not tremendously. I gotta say, if you were familiar with us 5 years ago, 10 years ago, yeah, we've had some increases, but they're pretty marginal considering the world around you. I know here, I know what we do here, it's luxury. Nobody needs us for anything. I don't know how much longer people can afford this sometimes. I'm very thankful for the business that we have. And we have a lot of business. That's the crazy thing, as much as people complain about the price of everything in the economy, that somebody like us still has work, and it's a blessing, and I think maybe some of this is, as things like a lot of racetracks have closed over the years, a lot of you guys are aware of, and some of us are worried about old cars and the states and federal putting more strict requirements on them and things, and the threat of hey, we're going to go all electric by, I forget what date they said, but all these things that they're kind of, it threatens the hobby that I'm in, which is, if you're not familiar with us, we're basically in the classic car hobby, or race cars or that sort of thing, and I think a lot of us feel threatened, and we probably have for a long time, or maybe even if we're not, directly threatened by it, we're just worried, it's just a paranoia. A lot of times maybe you think, well, all good things must come to an end, right? So how much longer am I going to be able to run around my, 65 Mustang, or, whatever it is, my 1970 Chevelle, or whatever you like to enjoy driving on the weekend? How much longer are we going to be allowed to do this? And nobody knows the answer to this, I don't think, but I think a lot of us feel, man, I don't know. Maybe we need to finish this car, or maybe we need to buy that car, or whatever it is that we're wanting, and get it done now while we can. Enjoy things as we can. I know as I get older, in general, I start to think about everything where, whatever, if I want to go, take that vacation, or, whatever, buy that classic car or something, I think, man, well, what am I going to do? Buy it or do that when I get old? No, I kind of need to do it now. So I think a lot of us feel that. Maybe that's one of the reasons we and other companies like us have been fortunate enough to have enough work. But very sincerely, I want to tell you that we're not trying to price gouge. Anybody I know in the industry is feeling the pinch just like you. And I think, yeah, it's probably true. Certain businesses did probably capitalize quite a bit on things like COVID and whatever it is, but small businesses in general, no, we didn't capitalize on it. I mean, we may have stayed going. A lot of us didn't, though. A lot of us went out of business. I know a lot of businesses that either just chose to retire because it was getting too difficult, or they just literally had to go out of business because they just couldn't cover the costs, couldn't get inventory. Inventory is still an issue. I know we're late on a lot of jobs, and a lot of it's inventory, and it's still that way. I mean, it's better than it was 2-3 years ago, but if you want 20 of something, they send you 2, and then you wait and you get 3 more, and 2 months ago you wanted 20 of them. It's very frustrating. Customers are always asking, man, when's that going to be back in stock? Sometimes I just don't know. A lot of things that are not in our control. We try to do as much as we can in-house so that we have more control. But even that's become difficult because help is an issue. But I want to say this to you guys that have been, and I know this isn't the majority of you, it's a minority of people, but the people that have said nasty comments about us and other businesses like us just ripping people off and charging too much, I tell you what, I want you to go into work tomorrow morning and tell your boss that you're willing to work for less money. And when you do that, let me know, and I'll go into work tomorrow and make less money also. But you're not going to do that. These same guys are going to go into work tomorrow morning and ask for a raise. I'm worth more money. I'm special. I come here every day and I'm good at my job and I'm an awesome guy. I deserve more money. Well, guess what? Maybe I do too. If that's the way you feel, maybe I should feel that way too, So, kind of think about this, guys, and, we live in this country just like you do, and I guess right at this moment, I'm not speaking to my foreign customers, but I know my foreign customers are having the same problems. I mean, America is not alone in this battle. It's everywhere, you know, so wherever you are, you know, we're all feeling this, where we need to make more money, we need to pay a little less, we want things back like they were 3 or 4 years ago. You know, I don't know what it is, you know, if it was COVID or regime change, I don't know. You know, I'm not gonna, again, I'm not a political guy, I have no idea what's going on there and what to do about any of that, but I don't even have an opinion on it, really. And I do, but I'm not going to state my opinion because it's only worth something to me. But as a small business owner, I just want to get the point across that don't think that we're just trying to screw everybody just because we can. It's not true. We're, you know, and I'm not complaining. I feel very fortunate to have this job. And I feel very fortunate that I still have work. So I'm very thankful. You know, I'm not complaining at all. And I see a lot of things going around me, and I see a lot of other businesses, especially the restaurant industry. A lot of restaurants that I used to like are now gone and things over the last 3 years. I'm thankful to be here. I really am. And I appreciate the customers. I appreciate the work. I appreciate the vendors. I appreciate any of the vendors that are still able to get us any kind of materials and, you know, doing what they can on the price. You know, I kind of joke with some of these vendors sometimes. They'll, you know, we'll place an order for something and they'll say, well, what's the price on it? And they'll give the price and I'll say, oh, wow, that's great. Oh, that's a lot better than it was last time I ordered it. And it's funny because, you know, it's just a stupid little joke I make, you know, because every time you get the price, you're like, oh my God, it went up how much? I just bought them a week ago, you know, because that's normally what's going on. But I'll make the comment the opposite way, and the reaction's the same every time. There's a big long pause on the end of the phone, and they go, what? It's just a joke, man. I just wanted to say something that you're never going to hear again. You know, it's just, you know, all I can do is just try to keep my sense of humor about it. You know, hopefully you guys can as well. And hopefully you'll have your sense of humor when we raise our prices soon too. You know, so that's coming up. I hate to say it, you know, we're going to have to make some increases as well. But again, it's not because, you know, I think I'm some kind of a superior being. It's just, I live like you guys do, you know. My taxes are going up, my utilities are going up, my cost of goods sold is going up, my consumables are going up. If I want to hire an employee, that's gotten be a lot more money. Everything has gone up, so we just don't have a choice. And we certainly can't compete with somebody enslaving labor in another country. And it's not even fair that you should think that. And I don't think you should support that. It's not morally right. I think a lot of you don't think about where your stuff comes from. You think, well, it's made, you know, in this place or that place, what do I care? Yeah, all right. Maybe you should care, though. You know, maybe it's time to stop caring. And, you know, but I get it. You know, you guys need to get a deal when you can, and I can understand that, but, you know, I've said this in other videos that if you support either, whether it's, you know, what we're talking about primarily, we're not even talking about competition really. A lot of it, we're talking about counterfeit, and a lot of these things from overseas made in places where they enslave labor and things, a lot of these items are counterfeits. They've just copied other designers, you know, whether they're American designers or, you know, whatever, German designers, Australian designers, you know, whoever, whatever. They're just copying stuff and trying to make a cheaper version of it. And I know for some of you guys, you think, well, man, I'm sorry, I just can't afford that name brand deal. I think I can get by with this other thing and save myself 20%, or maybe it's 30% in some cases. I don't know. Maybe it's only 5% in some. But do your homework there. But I understand. I know when I was young as a machinist and I had to buy tools and things, sometimes I would buy the offshore brand of something just because I didn't have the money for the really good Starrett made in USA tool or something, and I had to do that, because I had to work and I had to have that tool, and so I've had to do these things myself. I guilty of it as well, and maybe when I was younger I didn't really understand the impact of it as much either. But we want to support the designers and people that design things. That's very important. A lot of small businesses, a lot of small business owners, they're having a hard time keeping things going. And I'm not asking you to feel bad for us, but I'm asking you to understand that we're not here to be your enemy. We're here to do a good job for you, and we do need to get paid. It's as simple as that. Nobody's trying to be ugly about anything, and maybe there's a few. There's always a few bad businesses. I'm sure, but I've dealt with some people that I question whether they really cared about trying to do a good job or not. We've all been there, but the majority of us value our customers and our jobs, so we're motivated to give you the best price that we can, deliver on time and deliver a quality product, and also evolve the products, improve them as time goes on. I'm going to say this. Say you buy a counterfeit valve body of ours from, whatever, it's offshore, you get it on whatever, a cheap auction site or something, and you save a few bucks. Okay, great. So you feel like you won. And say you put it in and it actually works. Wonderful. You won. You got lucky. But 5 years down the road, when it malfunctions, what happens then? You're going to send this back overseas to be repaired? Or call that big mail order retailer and say, hey, this thing broke, can you guys fix it? Well, no, but there's more in stock. You can buy another one. Oh, okay. Where if, say you bought it from small business, even if it may be out of warranty, we may say, oh, that valve body malfunctioning now? Okay. Send it to me, let me see if I can repair it for you. So instead of paying $500 for another one, you paid $75 to fix it. Well, guess what? Now you see the value in purchasing from the small business, and maybe, even though maybe you paid a little bit more up front, now you're on the winning edge, And if it's something you're not going to keep, you're going to sell a car or whatever you're going to do, and you don't give a damn about the longevity of it, maybe a knockoff's the way to go for you, I don't know, but you're still not supporting designers. And as soon as the designers are gone, you have no products to buy. So I want to leave you with that. I could go on about this for days. I've already gone longer than I wanted to, but okay. Well, thanks for watching. And again, I appreciate anybody that supports small businesses, ours included, of course. And that's it. Thanks, guys.